Welcome to today's Cut Time webinar, year-end closeout, keeping it simple. My name is Scott McCormick, and I serve as the Senior Manager of Educational and Business Development here at J.W. Pepper. I'm also the lead on the Cut Time project, which I'm thrilled to be associated with. I founded and I'm the president of the National Association of Music Parents, or AMP as we refer to it. And for many years, I served as the president and CEO of Music for All and Bands of America. Through my history and my work history, I've had the opportunity to interact and work alongside hundreds, if not thousands, of teachers and parent leaders. To go a step further, our daughter was involved in music all the way through high school. And my wife was involved with our booster program at the high school that my daughter was involved with. She served as an officer, as a vice president, and then a president of the organization, and that organization ran roughly a $300,000 budget, had over 300 students participating in the program, and many more parents, obviously, that were involved. So I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on the subject matter that we're talking about, and thrilled to be involved in the Cut Time project that we're talking about today. So the screen that you're seeing now, a couple of things that we want to do at the front end of this is to let you know that we're first of all recording this, so all of the microphones that you are on are muted, and it'll allow us to be able to operate on this side without noises from the background. But at any time, and I want to encourage you, you have the ability to submit questions throughout the webinar. So on your screen, you should see a box that has questions, and you can type those in. Michelle and Tiffany from our team are monitoring those questions, and probably will be able to answer many of them on the fly, so you'll be able to get answers as you go. But also, we will have a question and answer time at the end of the session, where we'll be able to address things kind of on a larger scale and for everybody to hear. All right, so we really talk about Cut Time with three pillars in mind, those being manage, organizing, and communicate. From the manage side of things, we really, look at this picture where you can't conduct with your hands full. It's really about having a place where you can manage all of your students and parents and volunteers and keep track of finances and all of the various different ensembles and roles that are involved in your program. When we talk about organizing, we're really talking about organizing files and assignments and keeping track of all of our inventory, whether that be our music library or instruments or attire or uniforms, as well as scheduling events in a calendar functionality. And then the final pillar is communication or communicate. And we really think that this is the key to everything, as it probably is in all of life that we function in. But if we can find ways to communicate better with our students and our parents and keep everybody that's involved in the know, we feel like this tool is a great resource to do that with. I know that we have a number of people on the call today and registered. So we have band directors, I see choral directors, orchestra directors, I see a couple of department chairs or fine arts coordinators, which is great. I even see a college music educator, so I'm thrilled to have you guys involved. This is a great tool to share with your students who are going to become future music educators as well. And then there's some general music folks. So the demo that I'm going to be operating from today, and let me just advance my screen one more here, is going to be utilizing a choral program when we switch over to the live website view. I've done a number of webinars before where we've used a demo that had band programs in it, and I just want to show the versatility because we have such a wide audience that it really is applicable to all of your different kinds of genre. And as we go through, you'll see where you can customize this, but today's conversation is going to use a choral-based program, but you can kind of insert your own situation into that place. Right now, what you're looking at is a snapshot of our dashboard as of an educator when you were as if you were logged in. And so we talk about Cut Time being an online group management tool that's developed to pull all the things that we're dealing with as educators and parent booster organizations together that we're dealing with in multiple places together into one simple web-based tool. So whether you're out there and you're using maybe Google for a database or something similar to that, I know there's programs that use a MailChimp or some other mail program to deliver emails out to their students and parents. I know a number of programs that use Remind for texting. There's tons of programs that I know that use Excel spreadsheets for everything from managing your inventory to your class lists. So, and there's probably a number of you out there that have some sort of cloud storage that you might even be paying for, like a Dropbox or something like that. So all of these things that I've just mentioned and more can be accomplished in this one cloud-based solution that we call CutTime. I'll tell you that today we're going to do a kind of a deep dive, as I said, on the year-end closeout process and how simple that is in our program. I will tell you that the first Tuesday of each month, we host a little bit longer webinar, and it's an overview of CutTime. So we delve into kind of a broad stroke. The next one of these will occur on June 5th at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want to get a broader scope look after you see the deeper dive here, feel free to join us in that webinar, and we'll be sending invitations out on that front. As I mentioned a minute ago, we are a cloud-based software. So literally, our program was designed from the smart device up. So you're looking at a screenshot of my iPhone. So this is the dashboard that I would be in as an educator or some other administrator, whether that's a booster officer or a fine arts coordinator. But anything that I can do from my computer, as long as I have connectivity, I can do from my smart device, my iPhone, my any kind of phone device or tablet. So I just wanted to show you that and remind you that that's the way we operate. So there may be some of you that are in other management programs, and this might be a familiar slide or something similar that you've seen, warning end of school year approaching. Just a reminder, you're not operating in the 2018-19 school year. Be sure to close out the school year before entering any information in the new school year, which is always a little bit of a challenge, especially at this time of year when we have class lists, or we have we're maybe in the marching band area and we have a marching band that we need to get started up over the summer. So I can tell you that as I switch screens here, that is not a message that you'll ever receive being subscribed to CutTime. It's not one of the things that I'll show you here real quickly is I'm going to jump in and show you a financial screen. I'm going to jump into financials here for a second and just open a ledger here, and you can see this drop down box that says year. Literally at any time I can be in any year. So if we'd been in this program for many years, I could scroll back to 2015-16, even though the program's not that old, or I can operate in 2018-19 when I start to get class lists and I need financial obligations to be assigned to the group that I'm going to be dealing with in the next school year. So literally at the click of a button, I can be in any school year at any time. As we get started, I do want to show you one of the first things that you'll want to do in your CutTime subscription. So I'm going to go to this Tools tab. The first bullet point you see here under Tools, Setup and Configuration is the name of the school, my demo account that I'm in. I'm going to click on that, and you're going to see the organization name. All of our public schools are already associated with the district that they're in there. So if there happen to be multiple schools in that district, they would be associated with a district name. Shows me when I was first subscribed, my address, all of the pertinent information. The thing I want to show you down here is says school year start, and mine is set right now to July 1st. I know that a number of school programs around the country start on different days, or their budgets start on different months. So you might be in a July 1 or an August 1. Some of you might be even a September 1. You'll want to make sure in your CutTime application that you start by configuring this to mirror how your budgets work and how your school operates. I'm going to just leave this as July 1 now. What that says to me is that when that date, July 1, rolls around, my 2017-18 school year will end and my 2018-19 school year will begin on July 1st. Has implications as it relates to calendar functionality, as well as our ensembles, which we're going to kind of talk about today. All right. So I'm going to jump back up to the top here and switch back to the main screen. The first thing I'm going to do as it relates to ensembles is show you how we go from one year to the next. So we're in this current school year. I'm going to drop down into groups and ensembles from my people selection. When I go in there, you're going to see roster, and it's going to show select an ensemble. And as I said, I'm using Choral Basis for this demo. This would show any ensembles depending on whatever you were operating in. And I'm going to just pull down to my concert choir, 2017-18. So that's this school year, and I'm going to run that roster. And for you choral people that are on, please don't look at my positions because I probably don't have any sopranos in here. I think I have altos and tenors and basses, but you'll see on these lists, you could actually use this as a roster and extract that file or print those files if you need to. What I also want to show you is how we go about moving from 2017-18 to our next school year. So at the bottom of this roster screen, I'm going to scroll down all the way to the bottom. There is a button that says clone this ensemble. So when I click on clone this ensemble, I get this next screen. It says clone concert choir. Cloning an ensemble group means that you're going to take all of the people from 2017-18 edition of this group and make them members of the selected year edition of the same ensemble group going forward. So I'm going to clone the 2017-18 to 2018-19, and I'm going to click this button, clone. And now you can see up at the top, this has changed to 2018-19. It has taken all of those students from this current school year and brought them into the next school year's ensemble. So this is probably the easiest way to start. Now, I'm also going to tell you that in this list, you probably have seniors who have graduated. So that's what this easy remove button is. So once you've cloned the ensemble and created the 18-19, you're going to start and then go in and take all of those seniors out. You're going to remove those folks from your ensemble. It's a much easier way to start to take people out than it is to add individually. So this cloning function is a real easy way to do that. The next thing that I want to talk about is, so you can do that with any of your ensembles. I'm going to just use the example right now that we've had a really successful year with our choir program. We've gone from, I'm going to show you back to 17-18, and I'm going to hit run. And in 17-18, we had a chamber choir and a concert choir. And next year, because we've been so successful, the school's letting us add a men's choir to our program. So when I click run, men's choir 2017-18, there are literally no students in that. So we're going to start that men's choir because it hasn't existed before. We can't clone that ensemble. We're going to create the ensemble and associate a director with that. And then I'm going to click this add people button. That's going to open this screen. So manage ensemble personnel. So what this is doing right now is allowing me to create a new ensemble. So I'm going to do this and change this to 2018-19 because that's the school year we're going into. And what it's defaulting in this list at the right are all of the students that are in my program in 2017-18. So I'm going to go down, and since we're doing the men's choir, I'm going to identify those students that I know. I think Garrett applied and is going to be a part of that class next year. Chris is part of that class. Again, I'm going to go down and identify all of those students that are going to be in the 2018-19 men's choir. And again, I'm just not going to do this whole thing, but I've picked a number of men. I'm going to click the add people button. I could have selected all, but I have females and males in here, and we're doing a male choir, so I'm going to have to pick them individually. I'm going to add those people. Now it's taken those people from 2017-18 and put them in 2018, the men's choir. I can now go in and select a position. So I know that Garrett is one of my tenors, Chris is one of my basses. Again, you have the ability to do that and update that. So once you get all of those selected positions, you're going to update the ensemble. Just real quickly, I'm going to do this so that we can show that aspect. Please, again, don't yell at me for the voicings that I'm doing here. I'm just going with what we had in the demo account. So there, I'm going to update this ensemble. And now, if I were to go back up into groups and ensembles, and I went to the men's choir, and I changed this date to 2018-19, and I hit run, I now have those students in that ensemble. Again, very easy process to add students and to clone ensembles and to really move things forward. So as you're getting those class lists for next year's ensembles, you have the ability to create those while you're in this year. Make sure you are operating and changing the year to the next school year when you're doing that. But again, that's how easy it is to operate in any year at any time in our program. One other thing that I do want to show you is a promotion tool. So this is really designed, I'm going to go back into the tools section. And if I scroll down to where it says people, promote end of year, and I click on that promotion tool, it's again going to bring a list of everybody in the current school year that I have, and it's going to show their grades. So I can filter by school if I had multiple schools from a district, but I'm going to just filter by grade, and I am going to choose all of my 8th graders. I'm in a middle school, and I'm going to filter the list, and now you'll see all of those folks have, now I'm just seeing the 8th graders that are in that program. I could select all, it's going to check all of these boxes, or I know that Eva may be not coming forward and Chris is not coming forward. And I'm going to then go into the promote selected people to a selected grade level. So I'm going to move the people that were in 8th grade to 9th grade, and they are in the same school. So we're in the Everytown Middle School North. I've checked them to move forward, and literally promote selected. The students you've selected have been promoted. So if I were to go into these student records, it's now going to move them from the grade that they were to the grade that they are for the next school year. Again, a very easy process. I do want to show something to those of you who might be in a district where you have a middle school and a high school that are both looking at a cut time, or for those of you that are department chairs or music administrators. This is a tool that you literally can promote from middle school to high school. So again, I'm going to go one more level here. I'm going to sort and filter on all of my 9th graders. So here's my list of 9th graders, and I'm going to select all. And then I'm going to select 10th grade, which is actually going to push them into one of the high schools in our district. So I'm going to, for simplicity's sake, say all of these students are going to be moving to Everytown High School West. So these 9th graders are all selected. Again, they're a 9th grader, they're moving to 10th grade in this high school. And as long as that high school has a record, which it does, because that's why I'm seeing it, I have a lot of 9th graders that are graduating. When I get down to the bottom of this list, promote selected, and now all of those students have been promoted to the next school. Again, a very easy process to move middle school to high school. So again, if you are a middle school teacher or a high school teacher and you have kids that are going through the program, you can actually track their history. What were they involved with ensemble-wise in their middle school? And it'll come right with them to their high school side of things. So just to really, the term is about how easy the process is. That's really what we want to show you. I do want to jump over to the website homepage real quick and show you one other aspect. On the homepage, there's a button called Student Parent Sign Up. If I were to click on Student Parent Sign Up, it's going to bring me to this page where if I have a subscription and I'm a student or a parent, I can register myself or I can register my child for the ensemble. So I would put in, I would start typing Everytown in here, and it's going to narrow the particular schools, and I'm going to say that I'm a student, and then I'm going to add all of that detail and click these buttons and register. Let me take you back real quickly to the home page as a teacher. And as Morgan logs in as a teacher in the morning, she's going to have the first thing that she sees as members. And here's Johnny Smith, who did that self-registration overnight. I now can say they're going to be with us in 2018-19, so I can select that year. I can choose the ensemble that Johnny's going to be a part of. So he's just joining, so he's going to be in the concert choir, and I can go in and make his position, if I know it, a tenor, and then I approve him, and that literally puts him in that ensemble. Again, I will touch base here real quickly on, as I said, you could customize this under tools. If I go into ensembles, groups, sections, or positions, I'll just click on positions. We preload this with band, orchestra, choir, typical things. If I'm a choral person and I don't want to have all of the band things, it's literally as easy as going in and I'm going to delete baritone and bass clarinet and the things that aren't applicable to me, so that when I'm in that mode of putting children in or students in the right class, I'm only going to see the things that are applicable to me. So anytime you're in the program, there's these help screens. You can click the help button and it's going to launch our help portal and give you screenshots and tutorials on all of the various different aspects of the program if you need help. So I wanted to point that out. As we get close to the end here, I want to jump back to my PowerPoint and finish out with a couple of slides. So again, we've done all of that. If you haven't already, we offer a 30-day free trial. So again, this is a snapshot of the homepage. You can click on this button. There's no obligation. I know there's many of you that I looked at that registered or are already in a trial, and even some that have subscribed. But if you haven't, here's a way you can get in for 30 days and play with it. Put your data in. We can help you get data in so that you can do it. And if you decide to subscribe, all of that data will just become active and you already have a head start. One of the things I did want to let you know about is the pricing of how Cut Time works. The basic pricing is really $99. We're running a special through the end of June, 15 months for the price of 12. So if you subscribe by June 30th, you'll actually get 3 months free of your subscription. The $99 basic is really designed more for community groups. It might be a community choir or a band or orchestra where you have one ensemble that you have to manage. The standard, the $299 for the year, or in this case 15 months, is where you can literally have as many ensembles and people in the system and manage them all independently through that. So that would be geared more at the schools that we're dealing with. And then you heard me talk about middle school and high school in this demo. And I want to point out that once you go beyond one subscription in a given district, the price drops from $299 to $199 for each subscription. So let's say you have a middle school band and a high school band and a middle school choral program and a high school choral program, and all four wanted to subscribe. Each of their subscriptions would be $199. For those that have larger districts, once we get beyond 5 subscriptions, that $199 price drops even further. So if you would like a quote on a larger situation with more subscriptions, we'd be happy to get on the phone with you and go through that. We've now reached the time for questions and answers. I also know that we started a little bit late. I apologize for that. So if you don't get your questions answered, feel free to call us at the 800 number or email at info@cuttime.net. We have consultants that are available 6 days a week on the phone, and we have the ability to answer emails very quickly. All right, can anyone promote the student grades, or do you have to be a district administrator? Good question. So you do not have to be a district administrator. You do need to be an administrator on your account. So whether you are a head director or an assistant director, you would be given permissions, and I can show you. I'm going to hop back over and show you what that permissioning out looks like. And let me jump over here. If I go into my account, and I'm just going to go down to Morgan's record, at the bottom of each person, there's this permissions section. Morgan has full administrative rights. So she would have the ability to promote anybody. Again, if you have parents or people that are helping, you have the ability to give sections. You might have a student coming in to help you with your music library. You can permission that student for a set amount of time to go in and actually admin those kind of things. So again, fully permissionable, but you would need to have full admin rights. You don't need to be a district admin to do that promotion. How do I get my data to your team for importing into a trial? Great question. We have a great concierge service where whether you have data in spreadsheets or you're coming over from another program, as long as you can get your data in a CSV, which is the format for an Excel file, we can get your data in at no cost. So again, reach out to us at info@cuttime.net or call us at the 800 number, and one of the consultants will be able to help you get your data in so you can operate with your data. One more question, and then we're going to kind of wrap things up here. Can you promote edit ensembles by semester rather than year? That's a good question that nobody has asked me before. I believe we are locked into, at present, the year-end process, but we can get that answer, and we'll have a record of who asked this. We can get that answer back to you here shortly. But let me just jump back into the last couple slides I want to share with you. All right, if you do want to do a deeper dive as well, we would be happy to set up a time where we could do a GoToWebinar or a meeting online with you or your booster organization or other teachers and answer your questions one-on-one and kind of get into the nitty-gritty of your application. We'd be happy to do that. This is really kind of an overview of a particular section, and a reminder that on June 5th, we'll do an overview of the entire CutTime program. So if you want to get a little more information, feel free to register for that. Again, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day for joining us. From all of us at the CutTime team, thanks for joining us, and we hope to see you in CutTime real soon. Have a great evening.